On the footstep of the Blue Ridge Mountains of Northern Virginia, the historic city of Leesburg, home of American hero George C. Marshall, and of course, Loudoun United FC, back at Segra Field for meeting number 6 versus Detroit City FC in an Eastern feud that Le Rouge have dominated 4-0-1. They've outscored Loudoun United 14 goals to 4, Mariam.
Yeah, in their last meeting on March 23rd, not all that long ago, it was actually Loudoun who was able to get on the score sheet first by way of Wesley Leggett. Unfortunately for Loudoun, it's not going to be these same players available who put on such a stellar performance at this point in the season. And then on the other side, Detroit City, it was arguably 2 goals from Detroit's 2 best players in Diop and Rodriguez, and those guys have been clicking on all cylinders ever since.
They sure have, Marion. I mean, look, this is their first loss was last weekend. They're going to have to respond, but what a great start they started with at Detroit City FC. You look at Loudoun United, they went across the country, now going back to the East Coast, and they're now find themselves in the basement, one below that crucial top 8.
Yeah, I think this is a crucial match for both of these teams. Loudoun obviously trying to get above the 8, and then you mentioned it, the response for Detroit. What's it going to be like? The key, however, for Loudoun is going to be this man right here, Zach Ryan. He is clinical in front of net, and he's got some serious pace to him. Verticality in transition will be key, as well as having this element of focus in the attack, both things that Ryan has proven to do quite well this year.
Our player to watch presented by Betfred. He was a superstar at Stanford. They just pull out ball players. On the Detroit side, this is a ball player. He is a baller. Maxi Rodriguez. Look at the 3 goals and 2 assists this season. This team moves with number 21.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been so good for Detroit. Higher up the pitch this season than we found him last year. A dangerous 2-way player who you really want to be on the ball as often as possible. Pittsburgh did such a good job of taking this group out of the rhythm, forcing Maxi to come back into deeper positions, which is no confidence. He had to collect the ball in deeper positions, and it was arguably Detroit's least impactful game from an attacking standpoint. 3
points on the table. Who wants it? Loudoun United FC taking on Detroit City FC again. We got opening kick coming up after this.
What's your emergency?
Sheriff's office is reopening an investigation.
This story was odd. Who returns without the love of his life and doesn't say a word?
The paranoia took off like a tsunami. People became more and more obsessed with the case.
This house should be burned!
That was when the chase began.
As we're running, I heard gunshots.
People are still trying to mentally process how all of this could have happened.
Crime Nation.
Tuesday at 8 on DCW 50.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro. Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
Rising up like lightning. Won't give up, nothing can keep me down. Fire it up, I'm fighting. Won't give up, I'm gonna hold my ground.
Get tickets for our next match and info on special events at LoudounUnitedFC.com.
Here is the Loudoun United FC lineup. This is how they're going to line up for this match in match 2 against Detroit. And they've got some injuries that they've had to try to figure out, plug and play right
Yeah, definitely. You know, we mentioned it, trouble with injuries. They really haven't had a consistent starting 11, specifically to the center back position. That's going to be a new pairing. And then Drew Skundrich has played all over the place, finding himself as a right back today, while McCabe and Vallow handle responsibilities in the middle of the park. And then when we look at Detroit, it's been a much more consistent starting 11, but one massive change in Stephen Carroll out because of a red card suspension in the last match. Michael Bryant will step in at the center back role. Goalkeeper Steinwasser has been absolutely excellent. And then we look at their familiar three, Murphy, Rodriguez, Diop. Obviously, how much higher can we get Maxi Rodriguez up on the pitch so he can be a little bit more dangerous?
And they're also without the talents of the famous Elvis Ammo, as he's not playing. He hasn't played in a while, and they definitely miss him. But just one loss. When we talked to Detroit, our coach call, it was like they felt like they had lost like 3 in a row. It was just one, and they got out to a great start. Danny Decchio, and he was somewhat down, but he knew exactly why they did lose. They needed to kind of, well, you talked about it earlier, Marion. It was just they somehow brought Rodriguez back. He wasn't allowed to get into the attack, and that kind of changed or just kept Detroit off their game. It's a misty mountain there in Northern Virginia, and we are off. Loudoun United and Detroit City FC. Detroit City FC already trying to move into the final third. Have to change those 2 center backs, of course, with, as you mentioned, Stephen Carroll out. And those 2 stalwarts in the back there with Amo-Mensah. Over the top, trying to get over the back line. And Farouk distributing. Loudoun United in their all-black jerseys, and Detroit City FC in their white tops and their rouge shorts. This is great soccer weather, right?
Yeah, the mist, what every player dreams of. Absolutely.
Definitely has a UK feel to it. And maybe we'll get a little UK taste of footy. Is that what goes out of bounds? Mary, when you think about and you look at Loudoun United dipping below that 8, it's hard when you're banged up, but you're going against a team that has just owned you, right? And it's just a good play into the box, but flag looks to be up. So what do you think the first thing that you would tell your crew once you get back on the pitch and you're back below that 8 spot, you've hit a lull, you're just trying to get off the tarmac, right?
Yeah, I think that you have to come at this from a managerial perspective of understanding, right? You know that your guys kind of feel the weight and the heaviness of all of the obstacles they've had to face this early on in the season. So just reminding them, hey guys, we're not that far off, right? And we talked about how they haven't, some of the results just haven't really fallen in their favor, but there haven't been too many games where they've just been completely out of it. They've done good things in every single one of their matches. And so for them, I think it's more of a mentality coming out and making sure that they try to grab control of the momentum early. And when you do get those quote unquote momentum plays, can you make them count? I think that's the thing that you have to be a little bit displeased with if you're Loudoun this early on, is just your lack of finishing ability in some of those key moments.
It's a gorgeous ball sent across the mouth of the goal. Looking to get on the other end of it. I believe that was Matthews. Yacine Matthews there. Bidwa who gets the start. See him there, number 15 from New Zealand. He actually assisted Leggett in that equalizer against Sacktown last week. And then they brought in a super sub, and then that was a totally different type of feel at the end of the game, end of the match. Villanueva. Nice intervention. And a lofted ball trying to touch that touch line and just out of the reach. Trying to thread that pass, a fortuitous hop, trying to get that flag, it works. The hand was up to see if they could get the AR, and the AR immediately pulled that flag up. As Matthews just a little too excited on that play. Both teams try to fill each other out. Marion is kind of your typical early doors of a footy match, right?
Yeah, absolutely, especially given just the structure of what the schedule is right now, the conditions of the playing field.
Skundrich right up ahead, and that's the right ball you want to play. Just nobody making that run with some pace. Maybe just a little too prematurely on sending that one to the 18. Finally seeing some press here. Seeing if it will somewhat disrupt Detroit City FC. Good step by Abu Minsa.
And that's going to be another key for Loudoun today. And we talked about Zach Ryan, how important he is, not only with his finishing ability and just making sure that he is focused in front of goal, but equally as important will be his ability to cue the press defensively. I do think that Detroit is susceptible in the build-up, especially with the new center-back pairing, and they can win the ball in dangerous areas just like this.
Abukura, the shot, it rides, all spilled up just a little bit by Steinwasser, but it was right there at his fingertips. But at least a good attempt by Abukura. Right-footed, just trying to bend it, hopefully using that that slick surface. And tonight's the first shot on goal. Tonight's shots are brought to you by Smoothie King. And in the DMV, try the new Dude Perfect smoothie at Smoothie King. Packed with real fruit, vanilla protein, kiwi apple juice, frozen yogurt, blue spirulina, and then also turbinado. Get yours today, only at Smoothie King. Detroit City FC moving their back line up. Villanueva. This could create a nasty counter. Francois, he's very, very known to do that. And just a heavy touch that got away from him. And now Detroit City FC is on the counter. How will this work out? Outlet pass looking to find the foot of Yacine Matthews. Again, that high line, Marion, is trying to cut this pitch in half. Flex the muscles of how dominant Detroit City FC has been in this series. That's Coop, left-footed, outswinger. Quick clearance up ahead, but headed right back by Bryant. What a fight, what a tackle by Abukura. And the return that he slipped up and could not connect. And the referee's right there. It's called a free kick given to the home side.
That's all right early on from Loudoun. just having individual players try to show their skill sets and get these Detroit City defenders into dangerous positions. I think that this game will bode much better for Loudoun if it's a little bit more chaotic. And I think for Detroit City, they thrive on being able to be fluid in the build-up, passing lanes, passing channels. And that's where we saw Pittsburgh really take it to this Detroit City team, is just the amount of pressure they were able to get on the ball.
Back to the support. Bello continues it back. You kind of feel this match teeter-tottering a little bit, trying to fill each other out again, and then also trying to widen it out. Sometimes we see some spurts of end-to-end action, and it gets compact a little bit. What have you seen from Loudoun United FC so far?
I think that they're being smart about the times where they're choosing to press. You obviously can't maintain that kind of tempo for 90 minutes unless you're just rapid fire substituting, and that's not something that this group wants to do. So being smart about picking your moments when to go, and then making sure that they have limited Maxi Rodriguez. I think that's a huge key, and we have hardly called his name yet.
That's true, very valid point. Francois gets the start. Leggett will be coming off the bench. Talked to Coach Ryan Martin earlier. Just kind of switching it up, plus Francois. I mean, look at his resume. It's a nice return. Detroit City FC, this looks beautiful, and a backheader flicked on as Villanueva comes up and sees if he can possibly return it into the mixer. A solid defense by Bidwell. Villanueva, waiting, he wanted to get that one in quicker. So this will force Detroit City FC to play it back. And movement's up. Paired up with Bryant there in the center backs. Once we get Detroit City FC using that right channel. Nice over the top, one touch. Coming out is Faroux. That slick surface. I think it's dangerous. I know that Faroux and Steinwasser both are going to be aware of those low-driven balls.
Find your next car at Tate Used Cars in Frederick. When you shop with Tate, you can trust in an honest and fair deal. Why spend hours driving to dealerships and cities to waste your time and get ripped off? With Tate, there are no hidden costs. Our price is as listed. We'll even take care of Maryland State inspections. Get your certified pre-owned vehicle today with the knowledge that you're getting the best deal. Stop in and see our wide selection of vehicles. We have the one to meet your needs. Or visit us online at TateFrederick.com.
Nobody has what Tate has.
Loudoun United FC 2-4-1 on the season. Very busy couple of weeks, and it keeps getting busy. They don't have really much time to rest. Well, either does Detroit City FC, with matches coming up in the next couple days. Lamar Hunt open. I asked Coach Ryan Martin, how do you adjust to West Coast, East Coast, back to the West Coast? Does jet lag play a part?
The camera drops.
Nice layoff and a threaded pass into the 18. It's taken away. Here comes Detroit FC trying to work something out. A good intervention by Loudoun United FC. Both teams just kind of feeling each other out again. Bending, but not quite breaking this back line. And movement's up from Naperville, Illinois. He's been very rock steady back there for head coach Danny DiCchio. Detroit City FC, allowing Loudoun to move around from the back. How crucial is a center back? A solid center back, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've kind of jumped up as more important recently in the game of soccer. As you can tell, if you don't have a reliable one, your club will suffer. Now Loudoun United, nice probing pass. He got all body, can't go through the player to get to the ball. Knocked down is Ryan. Coots. Set a left-footed cross. Official will point. Another free kick. USL on the CBS networks continue in May as Detroit City FC takes on the defending championship title holder, the Phoenix Rising, Saturday, May 11th at 6:30 Eastern Time, the CBS Sports Network. Up ahead. A lot of space allowed. Just trying to find some options for Loudoun United FC. Almost pointing to where he wants to play that ball. It's knocked away. And here's Detroit City FC. A little step over did not work as planned. And quickly to clean it up is Farouk.
That's what I'd continue to do if I'm Detroit, though. Just baiting Loudoun into these pockets of pressure where you've got 3 or 4 white jerseys surrounding each channel, and then trying to be a little bit more dangerous in those moments of transition. I would be asking questions of Loudoun's ability to build out of the back just due to the amount of lineup changes they've had. I would start questioning the chemistry that these 11 have.
See if they were going to try to pin in Emma Mensah. Gave him enough room to get it out of that back line. And now that press lays off as Ryan just dares Murphy to do something with it. From left channel to right channel, Detroit has used those outside channels, but unfortunately unable to get on the scoreboard first, and there is an offside flag, of course. Francois just got behind that back line. Francois from Haiti joined Loudoun in December. Actually came to the United States after that terrible earthquake in Haiti. He lost some friends in that tragedy and made his way to the States and put down his roots to start a professional soccer career. Loudoun on the quick restart. As Erlandson finally plays Skundrich, who does play on that outside back here in this matchup. But he can pretty much play anywhere. Also a former Stanford standout. In the pocket. Loudoun United just trying to see if they can move up the pitch. They've looked to move forward, Marion. It just seems like the options, they don't want to make those risky passes, and they go back and play the support. But you see how quickly they close in on any passes, any probing pass inside to that midfield.
Yeah, well, Loudoun's not picking the proper channel right now. They're forcing play down the middle of the park, and really they have the numbers advantage in the wide areas. Instead of playing centrally, can you play around, draw some numbers out of the defensive structure for Detroit, which also helps get players isolated when it comes time to serve. That's exactly what you would, the position you'd want to put Zach Ryan in. But Loudoun really not solving that pressure from Detroit early on.
Solid touch by Skundrich. Looking up to return. Skundrich right at the byline as he put that diagonal ball. The flag goes up.
And although it was an offside call there, that was a much better decision from Loudoun. You don't have to go centrally to be dangerous. They pinged it around a few times in the wide areas, almost get Skundrich to the inline.
That was a great return. Skundrich showing his pace. Can't ask for a better ball. But the lines have been tight. They have put up those flags a couple times so far in the early doors. Here we are on the 21st minute. And Joe does a switch off the chest of Francois. But Loudoun United FC, they've done a good job of getting their numbers back, though. Trying to stifle any type of quick response by Detroit City FC. A dangerous, risky pass to play back. And a threaded pass. Joe gonna have to get creative. Dispossessed and then possessed right back by Detroit City FC.
Great desire to win the ball back very quickly from Detroit.
Matthews put a little spin there and then off the bottom cleat of Rodriguez. He seems perturbed at something. Maybe with Coop on an option that could have played earlier. Coach Ryan Martin with the white hat on. Former scout. Been the coach at Loudoun United FC since 2019. Was in the college ranks with head coach Jay Vidovich at Wake Forest and was a big tool at the recruiting ranks at one key name. You probably recognize this name, Jack Harrison. He's one player that Ryan Martin was crucial in getting him to come across the pond to play 1 year at Wake Forest. Some scores. Marion, we were talking about this before we came on air. Memphis 4-1. The Rowdies, I expect that. And Charleston at halftime 1-0.
Tampa had to play with 10 men for the majority of that match. Forrest Lasso getting a red card in the 11th minute.
Trying to use that right channel, Detroit City FC. Abu-Mensa. Look at the respect that Loudoun United FC gives Abu-Mensa. Until now, they put a little press on him. Poke away. And here comes Loudoun United, but numbers aplenty in favor of Detroit City FC, and tripped up. That resulted in a very dangerous spot here. Bidwa goes down. So a set piece. See if Loudoun United FC can indeed draw first blood.
And that's so well done from Bidwa, just to make that slashing run and take the Detroit City defenders completely out of the run of play. They had one of two options: let him go and have all the options in front of him, or foul him. They chose to foul him, obviously, and now it's a great opportunity for the home side to get one early.
Possibly being that option to swing it in. Let's see what they decide to do. It is, they're gonna swing it in. Far stick! Got on a ladder, headed it down. How that didn't get past the goal line beyond me. But that is textbook on a set piece. Another good serve ball that almost results in an own goal. Loudoun United FC swinging.
And when Zach Martin talked to us about grabbing those moments of momentum, this is that moment. You've had a string of 3 or 4 plays now where everything is in your favor, and you're itching, right? You're knocking on the door to get that first goal. This would be an excellent time to capitalize on the momentum that Loudoun has created in the last 90 seconds.
This is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United FC. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. In swinger, far stick. Oh, it was a nice little contest, a jump ball, but won by Steinwasser.
He's been called on big here in the last 2 minutes or so. Such a good performance from him so far this season. And he has already come up big here tonight. And, you know, sometimes, Ty, big time saves mean just as much as big time goals. And it could easily be a scoreline in Loudoun's favor, if not for that man.
Definitely can swing that momentum stick. Loudoun United FC, first match of 2024, they did go on top 1-0, then they got a little too conservative and played their game, and that resulted in 2 goals by Detroit City FC in the second half, and the loss to Loudoun United, which they thought for sure they had that in the bag. And now Detroit City FC working. Still good numbers by Loudoun. As Coop creating, he's got 3 defenders on him, had to play the support. And now Detroit City FC will recycle. Joe. That probing pass was the right idea. I think just Rodriguez, pardon me, did not step as fast as he should have, and it was taken away. Good pace. Trying to put that right up the middle. It didn't last long in Detroit City FC. That possession. That's Coop. Very uncharacteristic of Emil Mensah. You see the two forwards. You were a former forward. And then when you get to your partner and which one you're going to press, which one you're going to try to shut down the channel, the passing lanes, kind of see Ryan and Francois talking it out a little bit.
Yeah, important to note that strikers often cue the press for the players in behind them, whether it be a sprint, whether it be a shading of which direction that center back is going to go. It really makes play predictable, and as much as it is a responsibility for front runners to get goals, it's also a responsibility for them to be the top of the defensive structure.
Coot goes down. Although the home fans here feel like that was a little bit of acting. Take a look at this play.
And Skundrich just gets a handful of the jersey from Coot there. Knows he's beat. He'll gladly take that yellow card as opposed to putting his team at risk for a really dangerous counterattack setup.
Ali Coot from Bedford, England. Detroit City FC, just a little bit of a heavy touch that unable to turn. Loudoun United FC, they've been stingy back on their back line. And Rodriguez, who usually has a silky touch, just a little too heavy on it. Could be a result of course, the wet surface also getting on your boot. End of the 31st minute, almost to the 32nd. 0-0. Loudoun United FC, they've had the best look so far. Would you agree, Mary?
Yes. And I think for Detroit, when we look at why they haven't had many opportunities on goal, it's just been chaotic when they've tried to enter into the final third. And that's a little bit of credit to Loudoun. They're doing a really good job of not risking too many numbers forward. They're always in a numbers up advantage when Detroit is trying to get into the 18-yard box.
A miss hit. Somebody was supposed to be in that pocket, but there was nobody home. And Rodriguez. And just a safe ball to play it back by Abu Kura.
Right now, just the body language from all of these Detroit City players just feels tense.
Skundrich able to latch on to this one. Bidwa. Oh, I tell you, Villanueva read that so well. It also didn't help that that ball didn't get there with fast pace. That he looked like a safety out there waiting for that throw to the outlet pass to the receiver. McCabe, a little conversation with head official. Rodriguez shaken up, as well as Valo.
And Maxi Rodriguez just attracts so much attention. You can tell that they want to apply immediate pressure onto him, and a little bit of an over pursuit there leads to a really dangerous free kick area. We got 3 players over the ball.
What are you looking for here if you're Detroit City FC? You want to bait the keeper out a little bit, try to play it in, I guess, the far stick and have a wave of attackers crash in? Or do you want to play the short ball? What would you do?
I think from this distance, I'd have a go.
All right, she says have it a go. Let's see if they have a rip. Villanueva. Murphy. also can provide a nice whipping ball. Let's see what they do. It is Murphy, and right off the face of Dambrup.
Love that, though. He was trying to go for the near post and just couldn't get it over the wall, but the right idea.
It's going to be dangerous. One, and right over the top of Awua. And Awua shake it up, too. And take a look once more. Murphy's attempt off the face. Set it up nicely. There's Jolt trying to send that one inside the 18, and now Loudoun United FC just trying to fight their way out of it. And a yank on the jersey by, I believe that's on Villanueva, which was a smart professional foul.
Very similar to Drew Skundrich. Getting the exact same yellow card. It's the exact same situation. You're beat. We're in a dangerous position in terms of a numbers game.
And you can see the frustration there by Valo.
Yeah, he's coming off a bit of a frustrating performance in that Lou City game, but really a match, if you go back and watch it, a game that Loudoun was hard-pressed not to find at least a point. And Valo, a player that ended up having the on goal that led to the loss.
Top assisters in the USL Championship. Oh, just another heavy touch. What kind of opportunities that would have resulted in. Let's see if Skundrich can create with Francois making a run. And the flag goes up.
And we're obviously seeing a lot of heavy touches, right? Like a lot of unclean technical things that we don't normally see from this group of players. But on the flip side, how can you make that to your advantage? And one of the ways is to start testing the goalkeepers early, right? It's just as slippery on their gloves as it is on your boots. So how can you perhaps take a little bit more risk, something you may not unleash, an angle you may not try? In a match like this with the field as wet as it is, you really never know.
I think you get anywhere near the danger zone, they call it, the 18, you just take a rip and see, make sure you keep it low, see what can result of it, rather than trying to pass it past the keeper. Well played ball, Detroit City FC. Flag that was being looked to say, please go up, but no such luck in Detroit City FC. They probably had their best look. Unfortunately, couldn't come through with a goal.
That was excellent. An excellent early ball in behind the back line, and then you just let pace work.
Right. That was well timed. Well timed.
But that has got to be low and driven to the back post.
Loudoun United FC with a close chance, and now Detroit City FC with a very close chance. Or as they like to say, near miss. Was there any type of switch that you would have when you were a player if you were playing in these conditions? Just something you would keep in mind, or?
Yeah, I think if you're a player that has pace, especially as a front runner, this is a game that you actually could use quite well. So you perhaps don't play as back to goal as you normally would, and instead you maybe check to the ball and then you have a spin out and they play you in behind instead of to feet. So little things like that where you know the ball might skip a little bit heavier than it normally does. How can you use things like pace to your advantage? And I think that Detroit just had a great example of that.
Right there, switching, quick switches. Try to avoid those overloads. They have used every bit of this pitch. Very expansive in their attack.
But that's what they needed to do early on in this first half. They were not, and they were really trying to force things. Both teams were trying to force things centrally, where so many of the numbers were And we've already talked about the field conditions. You're going to have a missed touch that's a bit uncharacteristic. But as the first half has gone on, Detroit City has definitely grown into this game, into their possession. They felt a little bit more calm on the ball. And now they're starting to open things up and really expand Loudoun's defensive shape.
You get the feeling too, Marion, that I know Detroit City FC got to see their blood for the first time on their loss against Pittsburgh last weekend. But you get the feeling if perchance Loudoun United FC can keep this where the scoreline is going into the half, momentum clearly on their side, and that pressure stays on Detroit City FC. They just blanked against Pittsburgh, feeling that what they were doing before was not working, kind of messed with their psyche. Good press by Francois. And he lays off. Clipped over to the center of the pitch. That one just trickles right over to Erlinson. Oh, beautiful turn. Just trying to thread those 3 passes, Marion. It's tough for both clubs. Finally get a rhythm going and link up 1, 2, 3, then it goes away. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Erlinson.
You changed this last year. You matured on and off the field. We ain't even played our first game. I'm already stressing.
I'm not the same Olivia. I had to grow up. What if things with Spencer feel different?
This is about your future, your journey.
There's nothing wrong with having a village to help.
It's funny how your greatness depends on me getting you the ball.
That's enough. If one falls, we all fall.
Monday at 8 on DCW 50.
Another set piece here, Marion. Tell me what you want to do here.
I think you need to draw Steinwasser out a little bit or just freeze him in the decision-making process. And
a lot of times that strategy has hit that outside top of the point of the 6, which that drifted just a little left of it.
Definitely not where McCabe would have wanted that one.
Late in the first half, 43rd minute. Still sitting 0-0. It's great defense by Bidois, using that touchline as another defender and pushing Detroit City FC to play it back. Juke, long ball. Long ball hasn't quite worked, trying to get over that back line. It's put with a little too much spice on it. And Skundrich waiting for the cue to throw it in. Skundrich joins a couple of former Stanford Cardinal. There's a factory of professional soccer players by Jeremy Gunn. Detroit City FC working again on that outside right channel. But Loudoun Union, the United have really done well of just keeping their numbers there, kind of sealing them off. That's why Detroit City FC has really had one close look, but that's been pretty much it. Bryant takes the place of Stephen Carroll, who got a red card against Pittsburgh last weekend. You think maybe they would test the chemistry between the two center backs, Mary? Or the new center backs?
Yeah, Brian has some center back experience, but the relationship between center backs is definitely something special.
Now that looks like that's the final whistle of the first half, and still square 0-0, 0-0. As both of these two clubs just staring at each other back and forth and seeing if one person can come through and get through into the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Loudoun's definitely going to be a little bit more pleased with their first half performance than Detroit. If Loudoun can just be a bit more dangerous on some set piece opportunities, they could have the better of the scoreline here. And even though Detroit City grew into the half, they still need to be a little bit more patient when they actually get into the final third. Specifically, more service is needed in the second half.
More service, and there's now more rain coming down on the pitch as the two clubs go into the locker room. When we play 45, and we still have a 0-0 draw at this point. Stay with us. We'll be back for more right after this.
DC News Now is worth watching.
Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 10.
Super serving the DMV.
Reporting in Northern Virginia.
Levin Bowie.
In Upper Marlboro.
Forecasting each region of the DMV.
Region by region.
Responsive and ready for breaking news no matter the location.
To show you exactly how all of this went down.
We get there faster.
Reporting in Greenbelt, Maryland.
We cover more ground.
From Hagerstown.
Super serving the DMV. Watch DC News Now tonight at 10 on DCW 50. It's worth watching.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
Listen up.
We got you.
Okay. I know you're impressed.
That is absolutely amazing.
Sorry, Mom.
We got you.
Got you.
We got you. We got you.
Let's go!
Betfred's been taking bets for 55 years. We're so good at it, our staff thought they could still play the beautiful game. They were wrong.
Fred's doubling and tripling the price when your first goal scorer drops 2 or 3 goals. And with Fred, every 10th bet is on us.
We'll stick to taking bets. Because nobody does bonuses like Betfred.
More bonuses, more bets. Betfred.
And we're back here. It's halftime, 45 in the books. 45 coming up shortly. Next 45. It's 0-0 between the two teams. That'll be one good opportunity for both. But still a 0-0 on the scoreboard. As we take a look at the scoreboard around the USL Championship. Mary, what do you see?
Yeah, Charleston, a bit of a slow start for them after their 6-0 win last weekend. 1-0 looks a little tame, and then Pittsburgh, we knew that Bob Lilly would get his side back on track. Unfortunately for Detroit, it was when they played them at home last weekend, but once that happened, we knew that they were going to be a team on the better trajectory, and that's exactly what it looks like.
Memphis talking about the trajectory, then 4-1 Tampa Bay. That's a nice little score line. I know they ran into some issues, but then we look at tonight's schedule. We got a big one. Colorado Springs Switchbacks at 9 p.m. against El Paso Locomotive FC. And then we've got ours, Las Vegas Lights FC, taking on New Mexico United. That's going to be fun. We'll be on the call at 10:30.
Yeah, super excited for that one. I think it's going to be a real big testament and an open match. A lot of scoring is what I see in our future.
Well, I like what you did there. That's good. Put some of that mojo
into the second half.
Into the second half too.
Sure.
As both teams, again, filling each other out as well as having to deal with the conditions. It's great UK weather, but not great for America soccer as we're sitting 0-0. Let's see if something changes in the next 45. We'll be right back.
Go get it, Doug.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Distance, oh, what an effort, and it's special. Machoma fires,
Looks great.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
DC News Now is only getting bigger.
We're taking over the DMV with a regional approach to news that fits your needs better than anyone else.
With multi-state traffic patterns, we're giving you a narration that really helps you get around.
Giving you a larger scope of the area so you're better informed of incoming weather. Because if it's raining in Chantilly, it's probably not raining in Bethesda. Yet.
DC News Now.
The station in the know, in the community.
And covering more ground than anyone in the DMV.
Welcome back. Intermission here at Segra Field. And we've been chopping some wood. That's pretty much the only entertainment we've had so far in the first 45. No goals, 0-0. But big props to all those fans that's sticking around. We got news and notes around the USL Championship as the US Open Cup round of 32. That is, wow, a couple days away. Coaching up that also is Oakland Parks Waves with head coach Nola Delgado. That is interesting news.
I think the key to that is the interim head coach. We'll see if Gavin Glenn ends up being the long term, or if the coaching search will continue. And player of the week, how could it not be Nick Marcanic? Called that game last weekend and he was absolutely unbelievable. And this Charleston side truly is as good as the hype around them is.
Yeah, it was definitely a drubbing there, 6-0. Definitely deserving a player of the week. A little misty rain coming down the footstep of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Northern Virginia. We got plenty of soccer on the way. First 45 in the books, next 45 underway in just a moment. But first, we'll go to our Open Cup, which is the all-round of 32 Open Cup matches that will be available to stream on USLsoccer.com. But the Open Cup continues next week with round 32. The round of 32, many fans will be refocused on the USL versus MLS matchups. There's great history of the club sets, but when USL teams have pulled off upsets against MLS clubs, so that'll be fun to take a look at.
Now Mertz again trying to play in Dikwa. Dikwa's in behind! Dikwa's open to scoring!
Chest it down. Oh, that is spectacular. It's a cup set for Union Omaha.
Kasim cutting inside, and there is cup set magic in the air tonight! Saved by Viniello! Rodrigo Lopez! It's improbable! It's indomitable! It's another cup set!
And there's the U.S. Open Cup round of 32, Tuesday, May 7th, right around the corner. And the Riverhounds FC taking on FC Tulsa. To the Atlanta United versus Charlotte Independence. Which one jumps out to you?
Yeah, Houston Dynamo and Detroit's going to be a really interesting one to me. And then we've got a pair of USL Championship matchups down at the bottom. Orange County versus Loudoun, SAC versus Monterey Bay. Teams that will be quite familiar with each other, but that's San Jose Earthquakes versus the Oakland Roots, especially with having Dom Dwyer on the side of the Oakland Roots. We'll see how interesting that turns out.
All round in those 32 U.S. Open Cup matches. You see the next one on Wednesday, May 8th. Charleston Battery. They can continue their range here. They're just dominating.
I don't know, though, because South Georgia Tormented, they are the cup set darlings. They absolutely live for the Open Cup, so I am very excited about that matchup.
Are you putting upset alert on there?
Maybe.
Right. All right, well, we'll get back here to Loudoun United FC taking on Detroit City FC from Segra Field. As the second half is just moments away. We sit 0-0. We'll be right back right after this.
DC News Now is worth watching.
Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 10.
Super serving the DMV.
Reporting in Northern Virginia.
Levin Bowie.
In Upper Marlboro.
Forecasting each region of the DMV.
Region by region.
Responsive and ready for breaking news no matter the location.
To show you exactly how all of this went down.
We get there faster.
Reporting in Greenbelt, Maryland.
We cover more ground.
From Hagerstown.
Super serving the DMV. Watch DC News Now tonight at 10 on DCW 50. It's worth watching.
Isn't it nice when your everyday life hums along exactly as you expected? With reliable power from Novec, it does. Customers enjoy a 99.99% reliability rating, online and traditional payment methods, as well as 24/7 service. Getting electricity from Novec may be the most unexciting part of your life, and that's okay. Keep humming along with reliable power from Novec.
Does anyone feel like life can be really messy? I know I do. There is something shady going on. There's a million ways to cheat, and everybody lives on their phone. I found a screenshot of this woman. Let's be real. The game has changed. I cheated, you cheated. So what? I'm here to help make sense of it all, because trust, I've been through it all. And I'm not afraid to get into your mess. You are not winning in life. Let that sink in. So let's get into it.
Karamo, weekdays at 3 on DCW 50.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro. Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
Well, we didn't have that many highlights, Marion, but, we did see some good chances or missed chances. And I think, Loudoun United FC are going to think about this chance particular and go back to the locker room and say, if we could only come up with something there.
Yeah, and he actually had Vallo on the opposite side, wide open, a perfect run. If he could have just played that little slip ball in, Vallo would have had a much better shot on goal. And the best chances that we saw in the opening minutes were just from some ensued chaos, just lofted balls into the 18-yard box where some numbers were around. And this is what we were talking about in the first half. When the conditions are like this, when it is slippery, when it is wet, it is the best time to test the goalkeeper's ability to handle the ball. And we did not see enough of that in the first half. The other thing we saw so much of in this first half were dead ball situations, free kicks in dangerous areas. And unfortunately, neither team could make the most of them. That Loudoun chance that we just looked at was probably the best one of the entire half. But once Detroit grew into the match and they started to threaten not only from wide positions, but from vertical positions as well, they found a little bit more success. That's got to be better. That's got to be low and driven. But as you can tell by the halftime stats, the thing that jumps out to me is actually the offside. Loudoun early in the first 10-15 minutes, they were trying to test the back line of Detroit City with their pace in behind and just weren't timing the runs well enough. We'll see if they can do that in the second half.
We've only seen one corner this entire first 45. That is wild. And as you mentioned too, we test the keeper, just look at very few shots. So maybe that's what both of these clubs, when they went into the locker room and they said, let's find a remedy and let's just let the shots fly here. We are underway, second 45. Nothing to really to bring up in the storyline in the first 45 besides the two chances that we saw, but that's it. And you said it, Marion, the Detroit City FC did grow into the match, and we could kind of see them getting back to why they were undefeated to start off this season. And Rodriguez has been playing more of an attacking mode as opposed to just laying back, which he was against Pittsburgh. Which that match I watched over and over again. It just didn't look like Detroit, and I think even their head coach, Danny DiCchio, said it didn't look like his club. DCFC, right there, there's a good example of you have a chance right outside the 18, why not just give it a ride? Unfortunately for DCFC, they've got possession, and they'll recycle it around here. Joe Curley. There's a switch. There's Coop. He's getting on the left channel. There's targets available just right on the shoreline of the 18. That setup didn't result in anything. It fizzled. When you look at that matchup against Pittsburgh, the only loss to Detroit City FC. You remember the first goal, it was, you know how many touches in the box for Pittsburgh? 9. So if you're a coach and you said you're allowed your opponent to have 9 touches in the box, no wonder it resulted in a goal.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh had come out in that match with just heavy determination. You know that they were desperate to get on the right side of things. And what better time to do that than at home in front of your fan base? And if you're Detroit, you have to know that you're near the top of the table. You're going to get everybody's best match. But I think Detroit would be okay with just wiping that match under the rug if they can get a positive result here. And to be honest, it was an egregious red card given to Stephen Carroll. And I think that that's the more frustrating thing, right? Yes, the result, they didn't look like themselves, but it's a long season. That's no harm, no foul, really, at the end of the day. What makes that match so difficult is now, even today, they are still dealing with the aftermaths of that match because of a very controversial red card call at the end of the game. And by end of the game, I mean like seconds.
Yeah, it's amazing how you take one component out and it messes with the whole chemistry.
Yeah, but so far, Bryant and Amo Mensah have done brilliantly together.
They have. I mean, they worked well. That was one thing I thought maybe that would be a possible key for Loudoun United FC to try to mess with the relationship between the two. It's a good step. Detroit City FC with a crank, and it's just to the right of the post. Good look, just a little wide, and that was from Yasid Matthews, who gets the start tonight on the road.
And why not, huh?
That's exactly, if I'm the coach, if I'm Danny DiCchio, I'm saying yes, more of that, more of that. The young man has stepped up to get the start tonight. Just how close he was. Take a look at this. Set it up right on his right. Just sprayed it to the right of the right post. And again, you go back to that Pittsburgh game. Sure, Detroit City FC, they want to put that in the rear view, but that first goal, which kind of set the tone, Hogan, who actually had touched it once, in the return, and he was able to kind of hide back, and it's called a, which when I was coaching, I called this the crashing wave or the hidden wave, where you kind of come back and the defense kind of forgets that you're there, then you quickly make that run in, and that worked out because he timed it, headed it right in. That made it 1-0. Tough to defend when you lay it on a platter. Detroit City FC working, good numbers by Loudoun United. Nifty move, but then the clearance. Good whipped in cross, but cleared away for a brief second. Here's Rodriguez. Oh, nice stop. Try to insert it. Here's a shot with the right. What a smack up in the air by the two gloves of Farouk.
That shot on goal was made possible by Maxi Rodriguez. He makes the decision not to go wide right. That's where he initially wants to go, but Morris hasn't given them enough width for it to happen. So instead of forcing it, he does a little cutback, finds the open player.
Detroit starting to get comfortable with this match. Loudoun United FC, they must keep them uncomfortable if they want to get a result. 3 big points. They have not beaten Detroit City FC in this history between these two clubs. And as we mentioned in our open, it has been completely dominated by Le Rouge. They've outscored Loudoun United FC 14 goals to 4. Loudoun United only got 1 point against Detroit City FC. That was last season. And guess what DCFC did? They returned and got a big 3-0 thumping of Loudoun United FC right here at Segment Field. But Loudoun United FC with some new tools. And you got head coach Ryan Martin on the touchline. He just has a good eye for talent. Well played on the touchline is Francois, trying to return it. That was read well. Right back to the boot of Francois, back to his support to Abukura. Risky. All played back. Loudoun United FC trying to open this thing up. Abukura is there. Francois is there with a left foot. It just goes to the wrong side of the net. Designed well and just not quite executed.
Yeah, but it's the right idea. It's an early ball in behind the back line, and Zach Ryan just goes in that thing unmarked. And for a player of his caliber with that kind of a threat in the 18-yard box as a center back, you cannot allow him to run freely.
I'm glad a replay got to see that ball. That was scrumptious. You see that just right there where you need to put it. The diving header by Ryan just couldn't connect.
And those are the moments that are quite difficult in a match like this, especially really to the start of the second half where Loudoun has hardly touched the ball at all. you get kind of in this daze as a center back that they're not going to be dangerous, they're not going to be dangerous, and one ball snaps you completely out of it.
There's someone who's dangerous. Rodriguez puts it into the 18, but sniffed out. Long ball again, trying to get over the top and use the speed of Francois. Could have been a handball there. Play on. There's Morris coming back. Now it's a Mensah. Now Francois decides to test Bryant. Ball may be intended for Ryan, but still in possession of Loudoun United FC. Just a little bit much weight on that one, trying to connect with Ryan. And right on cue, Steinwasser comes up and takes care of business. The 55th minute. Sixth meeting between Detroit City FC, Loudoun United FC. On a stalemate, 0-0. The fans here at Segra Field salivating for some entertainment in the attacking third. Thought we possibly going to see one, but that was for the road team. Nice inserted pass. No turn, plays it back to the support. Vallo. Want to go up on that right channel. Want to go forward, you go back. Good pass up ahead and just taken away by the brilliance of Amo Mensah. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157, the new Sirius XM app. Sheldon, who gets to start tonight for Detroit City FC. Almost a reckless tackle, but keep the studs down. Now DCFC working. Matthews. Sheldon. Byline clipped over and then flicked away, but still in the 18 in Loudoun United FC. Trying to clear this thing and get out of harm's way. Matthews. Matthews from Johannesburg, South Africa. Came into this match with 1 start, 5 appearances, but 1 assist. Usually they have the former IU baller Victor Becerra, but in place it's Yacine Matthews. Bryant into traffic. Too congested. Now Loudoun United trying to break this party up. Chope going up. Some physical contact with Abu Kura.
And Diop on the unfavorable end of this one. But
right into your living room.
He has been so much more active already in the second half, and that was a big takeaway for me in the first, is just to get him more involved, whether that is in the defensive press or whether it's on the ball and orchestrating the play in front of him. They are so much better when he is involved.
Rodriguez providing some of the press. Detroit working in the midfield, see if they get into the final third, and that was put up. And flag call that looked as if it was going to result. And good news for Detroit City FC. Triangle passing, and Sheldon trying to go centrally, and miscue. Loudoun working around the back now, tried the big ball into the center. Was read well, of course, by a Mumensa. Keeping it in play. Morris, high arcing ball, far stick. His option was Coop. Murphy, good hit off the knees.
That's why you test
Ferro,
it.
Yep.
That's exactly why you test it. Not only that, but it leads to a rare corner kick that it has been in this match. But
that's the first Detroit corner kick. It's hard to imagine. Not off the knees, but also a substitution for Loudoun United. It's Francois is coming out. Leggett coming in. If you remember, Leggett did have a goal against Detroit City FC in the first matchup. Detroit City FC's home opener. They went into half with a lead. So Coach Ryan Martin hoping to flip that. See if Leggett can get a goal in the second half. Far stick. It was played well by Bryant. Turning to the near stick. Good curling ball, right foot. May have gotten away with a hander. Bryant all involved in that one. Ferrero just trying to take a deep breath. He's been busy the last couple of minutes.
And this is where you lock it in if you're Detroit. Well done.
63rd minute. Exactly where we started this thing. 0-0. That's got to drive head coach Danny DeKio nuts, because of course he was a goal scorer across the pond. Well known for his attack. Nice spin. That is well played by Ryan. Let's give Ryan trying to play that up ahead into the corner. We've got ourselves another substitute. This time it's for substitution for Detroit, and this time it is Becerra who comes in. Chicago, Illinois. Has a goal in the 2024 season. Former Hoosier, and then went into the pro ranks. Another soccer factory. trying to make some runs to get open. It's almost getting upset. This flicked on. Good sequence of events, but still resulting in nothing.
Every single time that Loudoun has been dangerous, it has been initiated by service from the wide areas. They did such an excellent job there of winning it on one side of the pitch and getting it to the opposite side in a quick manner. Nothing comes of it, but it's much more promising than the defending they have been doing for the majority of this half.
This hit, this could result into something. Off his line immediately is Steinwasser. It's great, great awareness. And Steinwasser immediately saw that thing develop and smothered any type of opportunity Loudoun United could have had. 65th minute. Trying to lock him in an inside channel to the center of the pitch. Jope, nice step. Jope off to Morris. Morris tiptoes inside the 18 and off the boots of Owuwa.
Love the decision from Morris. Not only his decision to go in line instead of cutting inside to try and have a shot, but also the decision of his run. He could have made that a slashing run across the back line. Instead, he chooses to keep the width. Gave Jope so many more options. He had one to the left, one to the right.
The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports. Nice punch down by Farouk. Every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Just go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Last corner was brought to you in part by IBEW Local 26. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. Good battle. Yeah, but I'm with you, Marion. That's going to upset a lot of fans. That looked very promising.
This is one of those situations that Loudoun has been feeling. They've been in games late with good teams, and that's what head coach Martin told us. The longer that you let good teams stick in and around a game, no matter how good defensively you've been, no matter how good your principles have been, you are exposing yourselves in a big way.
Rodriguez keeps that one alive.
So you have to think that Loudoun is going to really turn it up a notch or two, trying to get on the front foot here early. A team not used to playing with the lead. I'm sure it would feel nice, especially to do it at home.
To the 68th minute. And yes, we still sit 0-0. Who's going to break loose? Leggett. Abukura. Right foot. Oh, and he sprayed. Maybe he was reflected or deflected off of Sheldon. And he's pleading with the official. Did he really hit it? Did he really shank it that bad? Let's take a look.
And this opportunity all happened because of their efficiency in transition. It was up, back, out wide.
I thought Boris maybe got it back heel, but it's definitely out wide. And we play on into the 69th minute. Big ball again. And look who's there, rising. Abu Mensah. Ballot. Bidwa. Into some space over here is Aua. Across the goal mouth, Leggett. 1v1 with Villanueva. Goes out of bounds, it will be a corner. And this is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United FC. We'll see who's going to take it. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. And maybe this corner can empower the home side to get a goal on the scoreboard. 70th minute. This will be an outswinger. Here comes the runs. Curling. Oh, there was somebody there. Ballot gave it a rip. Here's another clip in the box and right off the line and gobbled up by Steinwasser. Good step. I tell you what, Abu Kura has been all over the pitch. He's playing back here, he's playing over here, he's playing in the attack. His endurance. Now both clubs use their subs, see if they can get some fresh legs to put some fingerprints on this match. Hughes is coming in. Hughes, he was injured, but was available, and now he's going to get onto the pitch. So he will come in for Awua. He made his debut for Loudoun United back on March 9th, 2024. Against San Antonio FC. Also, Loudoun United FC going to bring in El Medkar. '72nd minute. Who's going to flinch, Mary?
Your guess is as good as mine at this point.
All right, so your grades. Who do you think has come out better looking in the second half?
I think that this game has been the epitome of ebbs and flows, especially in the second half. If you would have asked me in the 65th minute, I probably would have told you Detroit, just because of their calmness on the ball, their quality of chances. You can see the ideas churning with their attack. Their playmakers have gotten onto the ball a bit more, but as it stands now in these last handful of minutes, Loudoun has really been on the front foot. They put a little bit extra effort into winning the ball back in a quicker manner, and they're doing a much better job at utilizing the width and getting service off.
Loudoun United trying to set something up here. Trying to go through the player, no call, play on. Now here comes Detroit City FC. Joe, he's got two on him. Let this one fly right over the bar.
I'm not sure that Maxi Rodriguez should have even played that to Giop in the first place. Could have gotten it on the half turn and just ran at the back line himself.
The season is right around the corner. It's two of the best teams in DC going head-to-head.
Unstoppable. The season is upon us, and tonight, the battle for bragging rights in the district.
It's one of the most exciting times in the year in sports.
Knifing through the middle, gets into the scores.
One team looking to make history.
Full slate of highlights and games on game night later tonight at 11 p.m.
United came up with almost a goal. Let's see what they have here. Trying to slip past the defense. Referee not impressed. Rain still falling. More April showers as we are in the early parts of May. Could have fooled me. It looks like it's a March evening in Northern Virginia.
3 weeks from now, it'll be 100 degrees.
Well distributed. GCFC lofted in the air. Yeah, there's what a heck of a hit, but just got in the way is Loudoun United FC. They escaped something that could have very well have been the dagger, just the way this match has gone. Home fans pleading for a call. It says play on. Left channel. Leggett. Leggett. Into the area, and then again the diagonal ball. There was options. Nice step by Dambrot. Dambrot, diagonal ball. And off the outside of the right foot. Bidwell just couldn't get enough on him. 76th minute.
And ever since Hughes and Leggett have come into this match, the momentum has changed completely in the favor of Loudoun. Leggett doing such a good job to get in line. And that ball back across the face of goal is so difficult as a defender because you are running towards your own goal. So you're at risk not only for an own goal, but also for an unfavorable deflection to the oncoming players of the other team.
Steinwasser, he's been brilliant again for Detroit City FC. It's crucial. Stop on coming off his line. Not to come off his line here, maybe. There's Medcar. He tried to curl it around the diving. Steinwasser couldn't slot it in. Marion, that's what you want to do. You want to hit it on the ground hard in towards the corner, but just couldn't get out of the reach of Steinwasser.
Yeah, it's what you want to do, but sometimes a goalkeeper is just that good, and Nathan Steinwasser has come up big here once again for Detroit City FC. And it's excellent work by the defensive group to continue tracking and actually get the deflection for a corner kick.
Loudoun United with 8 shots, 5 on target. 0.84 expected goals. Outswinger trying to find that back. Posed. As Valo. See if he'll put it back into the mixer. Skundrich. Not exactly his idea of a touch. Poked away. Valo there. Valo trying to put it through the wickets, but that's not going to happen on Murphy's watch. Morris in the center of the pitch, gets tripped up. And this indeed will be a free kick awarded to the visitors. As Morris tripped up, but not hurt, and right back on his feet. Some subs coming in too. Medcar gets a yellow card on that confrontation. So Morris will head out. Williams will come in. Ryan Williams Finally coming in. It's going to be Rodriguez coming out. And here's the clock ticks. Almost to the 80th minute, so Rodriguez is out. Williams comes in.
Actually had a bit of a physical night. Got into some tough tackles, and obviously both teams have quite the busy week, so there is a level to managing the legs here as well as we get deeper into the half.
Careful. This is Sheldon. Bryant trying to play that right back up on that right channel close to the touchline. Last touch by DCFC. Connor Rutz also in. Nice hold-up play, back heel. Leggett just got a little too much on that one too, that back heel. Right idea. Just couldn't connect with Medcar. Nice step. Mello. Loudoun United. Leggett. Leggett. Blocked. Bidwa. Valo. They want that ball switched. They'll switch it. Erlinson. Feels Detroit City FC is weak. Here's a curling ball and just over the head of Ryan. Still in the mixer. DCFC is trying to get it out of there. And there's a yank on the jersey. Immediately called. Quick restart. Dembo. Twirling and trying to create some space, but now he's going to get pinned into the corner. Support back to Erlinson. Hughes just came in the match. McCabe wants it. He's been quiet tonight. McCabe from South Orange, New Jersey. Second minute, the switch, right channel. McCabe calls for it. Lays it all the way back here. Loudoun United FC moving their back line to the center of the pitch. Erlinson. Inserted pass, Valo. Unable to turn. Long ball over the top. Well played by Dambrock. Valo. Oh, the Meg. Here's Medcar. Medcar. Here's a volley set up. Protesting left foot shot over the bar. Another look. Dambrock just is beside himself on that opportunity. Leggett was pleading to the official about a possible handball. Loudoun United FC still got another chance. It's another look at it.
And it's a lovely little combination ball. Again, where, Ty? The wide channels, and then it's serviced back across. Mixed with a big whiff, and my goodness.
Yeah, you can see what they're protesting about, but that was right on the platter too. The whiff of the volley. I'm sure you've seen some of those in your days where that ball just looks like it's right there and then it disappears. Probably doesn't help that the rain gets in your eyes. 84th minute. Stalemate, 0-0. Loudoun United FC dropping below, behind the 8. They want to get back on top of that line. They tied Detroit last year, but then Detroit City FC came back and made a statement right on this pitch at Segra Field, where they won 3-0. On a banged up, thin Loudoun United FC. Here comes Tingy. Keegan Tingy, he was also one of the banged up, but able to come in. Just signed a one-year deal with Loudoun United. Also, former Stanford player. As Bidwa goes out, Tingy comes in, flicked. Oh, right on that back door. Nobody was expecting Medcar. Now, unlucky as that ball decided to ride a little bit too much. Unfortunately for the home side, they got themselves another corner. This is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United FC. IBEW Local 26. Empower your future. In swinger here. Big, punched away, lining it up. Here's a shot that just sprays to the left of the frame. Just knocking and knocking on the door. The frustrations aplenty for the home side, Marion. You just can't seem to get a goal for all that hard work. '86th minute.
Just to prove how much Loudoun has been in control of the latter part of this second half, expected goals 1.31 and 0.2 for the away group. That's a great stat and all, but it doesn't matter unless you can get it in the back of the net, and that's what we talked about in the open, is just having that focus in the final third, knowing that quality opportunities don't come around very often at this level, so when you get them, you have to make the most of it.
Good step by Williams. Clock ticking down as well as the rain. E-football. Recycling, trying to set up nicely, but sink is clogged. A lot of Loudoun United FC bodies back there behind the ball here. Rutz. Rutz again, left foot swing, headed away. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play, so download that right now. Ticking down the dying embers of this match. No goals to show and some conflict too. As Bryant's tangled up with Leggett. Didn't like that. Leggett trying to show some sportsmanship, and Bryant threw his hand away in disgust. Bitter blood between these two clubs. Detroit City FC has had the best of Loudoun United FC. Only one tie in this very short history between the two clubs for Loudoun United FC. And right now, close to another one, unless Loudoun United FC can come up with one last swing into that final third. 90th minute. Unconfirmed 3 minutes of stoppage time. Up, right channel, back heel. Ryan was right there, and then a dummy into the right channels, played into the box. And of course, the gatekeeper, Emo Mensah, is there and says you are not allowed. Three minutes for sure, confirmed for extra time. And Detroit City FC must have just gotten the memo. Try to bleed out the clock here. There will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time added to the half, or excuse me, to this second half, brought to you by Novak. Novak keeps you humming along. The rain keeps humming along here on the pitch. Fans not happy with the delay. Big ball up ahead. Numbers clearly on the side of Detroit. Urgency. Nice way to come back by Medcar. Follow into space. Will they use him? Yes, they will. Keeps it as he looks for his options on a square ball. A promising look again on that right channel, but then fizzled out. United FC just looking for one last gasp of air. Could it come here? This is well played. Medcar. Oh, Medcar sitting on the doorstep. Blocked away. There will be a corner.
And that extra touch is what allowed the Detroit City FC defender, Michael Bryant, to get in front of that. El Medcar takes that on 2 instead of 3 touches. And perhaps he finds the window he was looking for.
Could this be the last trip down here, the attacking third for the home team? This is an IBEW Local 26 corner kick by Loudoun United FC. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. Drilled away, nice header by Murphy. Loudoun United can feel the clock almost expired. Upended. Detroit City FC not happy with that. Skundrich got upended. It will result in a free kick. The +3 that is expired. As the final whistle must be seconds away. Is there one more last chance for the home team? Put it up, jump, clearing it, and that's how this will end.
I think it's a fair result.
Both teams, they tried to finally get into that scoring on the scoreboard, but unfortunately, and Loudoun put that extra urgency towards the end of the match, Marion. It just couldn't result in a goal for them.
Yeah, if you're Loudoun, you're a bit disappointed with your quality on set pieces, but the substitutes were brilliant. Hughes, El Medkar, Leggett, they brought such a spark late in that second half. And then if you're Detroit, Steinwasser is the man of the match for you. They couldn't find a sustained rhythm, but now for both of these sides, they've got to go on in 3 days and play in the Open Cup. 3 days after that, beyond match day 12 of the USL Championship fixture. So not a lot of time to be able to reflect on this one, but a fair result in the end.
Well, then Loudoun United FC may be happy about the result. They get 1 point, and so does Detroit City FC. That is it for us as we finish in a draw, 0-0. So long.
You thought you knew Cuomo.
See the game, my friends. Expose the game.
The real Chris just might surprise you.
So you can change the game.
Surprising.
The agenda is you.
Free thinking.
News Nation is the only news organization whose name is reflective of you.
Game changing.
America is News Nation.
Cuomo, weeknights at 8/7 Central, only on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. News for all America.
Weather for all the DMV. Your weather experts. You're watching DC News Now.
Did I say so long? I was kidding. We're back. Final time, 0-0. We stayed exactly the same way as we started, Marion. And we did have some chances and some, but really nothing resulted. Anything here is some of the highlights.
And here we go, starting in minute 37. It was really Loudoun who started off on the front foot in the first half, but Detroit who grew into the half with their best chance, perhaps of the entire game. If that's a low-driven ball to the back stick, perhaps this one ends 1-0 Detroit City. But Loudoun really weathered some things early in the second half. They were unfortunate not to get this. Such a good ball in behind into the run of an unmarked, don't know how, Zach Ryan, as well as another player on the back post who was there for the cleanup if necessary. This would have been one of the only touches we saw from Maxi Rodriguez in the second half, setting up this shot opportunity. And an excellent deflection, excellent parry away that ended up leading to not even a corner kick. And then we have to go all the way to the 76th minute. And this is where Loudoun really started to put the pressure on. It was a series of substitutes that ended up working out so well and had the best opportunities late in the second half, but again, amounted to not a lot. But you mentioned it, Loudoun has to be pleased with their ability to kind of piece together an 11 and get 1 point against a really tough Detroit City team. I think set pieces is where they're going to focus their training as they move into the Open Cup on Wednesday.
I thought they did a good job at Loudoun United FC on stopping any type of attack by Detroit City FC in that second half. I mean, we never heard of Rodriguez's name.
Yeah, and look, that was one of the keys, right? Can you minimize Maxi's impact on the game? I think that they did that brilliantly, again, with players who are not used to playing with each other. So there is a lot of positives to take from this Loudoun team.
Well, there was a good amount of Loudoun United FC, the Stampede supporters. They're in attendance even despite the bad weather, but no goals. 1 point given to both teams. That's how we finish, and that's how we say goodnight. So for Marion Crowder and my crew, I'm Ty Collins. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Is going to go. It really makes play predictable, and as much as it is a responsibility for front runners to get goals, it's also a responsibility for them to be the top of the defensive structure.
Coot goes down. Although the home fans here feel like that was a little bit of acting. Take a look at this play.
Center back is going to go. It really makes play predictable, and as much as it is a responsibility for front runners to get goals, it's also a